Get ready for your daily dose of marketing strategies and tactics from entrepreneurs with the guile and experience to help you find success in any marketing capacity. You're listening to Marketing School with your instructors, Neil Patel and Eric Sue.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Marketing School. I'm your host, Eric Sue.
And I'm Neil Patel.
And today we're going to talk about what you should do with a website that you no longer use. Neil, what are your thoughts?
I usually just 301 redirect it into like another site that's in the industry or sell it to them. If I no longer use a website and I don't care for it, I try to first sell it. If I can't sell it, like go to sites like Flippa. I don't know what other sites there are for brokers, but I just go to like sites like Flippa and try to sell it. If I can't do that, I manually hit up people in the space and I try to sell it to them. If that doesn't work, what I do is I 301 redirect it to like someone else in the space and try to charge them a monthly fee for it. And I know that sounds crazy, but they actually pay it. Or I rent the website. And what I do with that concept is I just take the site, keep the rankings, and I put someone else's business information on there and I charge them a monthly fee. Like think about renting out a house. That model works out really well.
Awesome. And just to touch on the broker aspect for a moment, Flippa, F-L-I-P-P-A is a great one. There's also empireflippers.com. And my personal favorite right now is FE. So F as in Frank, E as in Eric, feinternational.com. That's my personal favorite right now. They're doing some great stuff in the space, doing a lot of content marketing and stuff. So check out what they got going on. The least you can do is subscribe to their email list. They're selling a lot of different websites right now. Basically what I would add here, I guess we can go a little deeper and give some examples here because I do have a gun blog, and recently we just purchased another gun blog, and literally what Neil said, we just redirected all the traffic, and our traffic more than, I believe it increased by 25 to 30%. So it's well worth it, and it's just a matter of finding the right sites and then getting it done. So we probably should go deeper on how this can be done. But for me, I've always 301 redirected it or let it die. I guess, Neil, what are your thoughts on finding the right people or finding the right resources to 301 correctly?
Yeah, so it depends. Are you talking about 301ing to other people's sites or 301ing to like another one of your sites?
Another one of your properties.
So if I 301 to another one of my properties, what I do is I make sure that I take all the internal pages and add them to the new site that I'm 301ing to. And I 301 redirect each and every single URL. If you're not technical, you can go to Upwork, UPWORK, and you can find technical enough people who can do the 301 redirects properly. Make sure you renew your domain name for a very long time when you do a 301 redirect. What most people forget to do is they'll do the redirect and then they don't keep renewing their domain name and they're like, oh crap, welcome to that site. Well, someone else just took it up and they got all your links too.
Right. And you do want to monitor what's going on to, just to talk about the correct URLs to be redirecting. You do want to make sure that you're redirecting every single, at least in the top 25, the pages that drive the most traffic, or else you're going to lose out because there are people that miss out on that. Other than that, I mean, there's not much more I can add around this.
Yeah, well, if you also have a website that you're no longer using or you don't care about, why is it? Is it not making enough money? Well, one thing you could do is go into your space, Google all the other competitors, and look to see what they're doing. Do you think they're making more money? Is there a conference that you can go to and network at? It's funny, your competition usually will share their numbers at a conference, or employees will, right, that work at that company. They're pretty loose. So why not figure out what your competition's doing? Because if they're making 10 times more money than you, I bet you won't give up on that site. You probably want to fix it. If you get the same amount of traffic as someone else, why aren't you making the same amount of money as them? Or if they're making 10 times more than you, why not sell it for 5x more than what you're making, and they'll make the difference on the spread, right? It's arbitrage.
Right. And I think the other thing also, there's obviously these platforms out there where you can go and list your website, but there's a lot of different website brokers out there. So I guess another question would be, how do you find these other brokers? I mean, there's one that I met just out of chance, but there aren't a lot of people out there that can help broker these deals. I mean, this guy that I know, he literally helped broker the sale of the domain of Medium, and I think he helped with Twitter too.
And if you also have a premium domain name, it's worth money too. So even if your site doesn't make any money, you can make a lot of cash by just holding on to that domain name. Think of it as like real estate. Property in New York City or London, in proper London or proper, New York City right by the park is always going to be worth a lot of money. So if you have a really premium domain name, hold on to it. It may not be worth selling. But in general, if you have a site that you're no longer doing anything with, The bigger question should be, why aren't you doing anything with it? If you don't think that there's any potential in the business, cool, dump it or sell it. If you have a domain that's penalized by Google, then go look at the Mozcast, see what algorithm updates happen during which dates, cross-reference that with your Google Analytics, and see when your traffic went down. If you can fix it, great, fix it. If you think the domain's dead and you can't do anything with it, then dump it. There's no point in even selling it to someone because that's kind of screwed up too, right? To sell them like a bad domain name. And in that case, you should just move on and do something else. But in most cases, when I see webmasters or website owners who are like, oh, I don't want this, I'm not doing anything with it, they're just lazy and they don't want to spend the time. If you don't have the time, but the market has a lot of potential, go partner up with someone who's scrappy, hungry, a college kid, someone who wants to learn and be like, hey, I'll give you 30% or 50% of anything on the upside. So if you're making $2,000 a month, you can say anything above $2,000 a month, I'll split with you 50-50 and just partner up with them because someone else, maybe they'll do something with it and generate a popular site.
Great. And with that being said, that's it for this episode of Marketing School. We'll see you in tomorrow's.
This session of Marketing School has come to a close. Be sure to subscribe for more daily marketing strategies and tactics to help you find the success you've always dreamed of. And don't forget to rate and review so we can continue to bring you the best daily content possible. We'll see you in class tomorrow, right here on Marketing School.